Good afternoon, I am Segundo Gavilanes.
I am Belén Cepeda.
This is our discovery project about fertirrigation. As an expert, we are with Mr. Alvarez. He is the director of the irrigation system and farm equipment at Zamorano. So, good afternoon, Mr.
Hi, how are you?
So to start with the interview, we know fertirrigation is a techniques used in agriculture to increase production and reduce water consumption. For you, what is fertirrigation?
Well, as you said it before, fertigation is the technique of applying fertilizers throughout the irrigation system by different means.
So we were searching some about fertirrigation and we know now that it uses different systems like the inject system, for example, Venturi, piston, and other. Can you tell about some of this?
Well, the main systems used in fertigation are the Venturi, the piston pump, the diaphragm pump, and sometimes you can use a booster pump. Every system is used as a subsystem to inject fertilizer into the water you use to irrigate. So the efficiency or the precision of the system is based upon what are you willing to pay for it. Some systems are manual, some systems are mechanical, some systems are electronic.
I read some about that we can give the nutrients and also apply some pesticide to the plant with this fertilization system. But it's necessary two different systems to pesticides and nutrients?
No, you can do it. What do you mean? Two different irrigation systems or fertilizing systems?
I mean the systems.
But you can do both with one system. You have your irrigation system. So the fertigation system is like a bypass, like a subsystem of the main irrigation system, which has its own pump, its own controls, its own tanks. So you can put into the tank anything from fertilizers, nutrients, pesticides, etc. You just have to be careful. Some things are not B2B in the same tank.
Like conventional system, fertirrigation can be more expensive because it's a most complex system with more technology. And do you think fertirrigation is profitable to practice?
Profitable.
Practice? Why?
Yes, a fertigation system is very practical. As a matter of fact, it's been used for the last 30 years. It's not a new technique. It's old. If you have any drip irrigation system or a pressurized irrigation system, it's a must. You have to use a fertigation system in order to achieve a better control of the application or have more efficient application throughout the field. And the system is practical. As I told you before, there are different kind of systems, and what are you willing to pay? That depends on what are you producing. But you can have very simple fertigation systems and very complex fertigation systems.
We have the opportunity to meet some fertilization systems, but the most of them was into a greenhouse or in intensive production. So, what are the requirements to install a fertilization system, or if it's possible, install a fertilization system in an extensive production?
Well, you can install a fertigation system or in intensive or extensive production. That's no problem. What was the other question? How expensive or other requisites?
Yeah.
You just need a pressurized irrigation system. Some of the systems work in a hydraulic way. Some need an outside source of energy to be put into functioning. Venturi, piston pumps, and diaphragms are moved by the same water that the irrigation system needs. The booster pump may be the only system that needs outside energy, as maybe an electric motor or a diesel or gas engine.
We read about how fertirrigation system help to decrease damage in extensive crops. It is possible use fertirrigation system in all extensive crops. What are the extensive crops with more yield using this system?
Well, by extensive, maybe I'll give you an example. Compañía Azucarera Tres Valles. That's a sugarcane production enterprise here nearby Zamorano. They have like 6,000 hectares, and 95% of their production is based on drip irrigation, and 95% of this of the fields have fertigation systems. That's a very good example of how you can use fertigation systems in extensive crops. And they produce sugar and they produce biomass and everything. So they use fertigation systems. So you can use fertigation systems in an extensive crop. The cost, that depends on, as I told you before, on how technologic or how automated is the system. Maybe a very simple system is like 5 to 10% of the total cost of an irrigation system. Maybe a very complex system is like 20 to 30% of the total of the irrigation system. But in a very complex system, you don't only fertigate, you have a lot of measurements done by sensors and everything. So you have a very good monitoring.
We know that technology is a fundamental tool for the farmers of this time. And we read about the new version of fertilization system that you can control it with a mobile app, and you can start and finish the process with your mobile. So, for you, is this app trustworthy? What? Trustworthy.
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 Confiable.
Yeah.
If they're in the market, they have to be trustworthy. Most of these mobile apps are tested before they are released to the market. So that's only a matter of technology, how you send a signal, and nowadays we have the technology to do that. We can start and stop a setter pivot or any irrigation system. We can start or stop a fertigation system. We can give parameters to a fertigation system if we have sensors in the field or in the plots that tell us when certain nutrient is low, or if the pH is low or too high. So the system can start doing what it has to do in order to apply what is needed at a certain time. So the technology exists, the products in the market exist, and I do trust the technology.
In this year, we hear a lot about environmental and climate damage. How fertilization could affect climate change in a good way?
Well, as I told you before, if you're applying artificial nutrients or anything to the soil, that means that if you do it in a very precise and needed way, you can reduce contamination. And let's remember that when you're not using fertirrigation, you have to use another means for applying, like a tractor maybe. And if you use a tractor is a generator of greenhouse effect gases. So if you minimize the amount of times a tractor has to go into the field and start using diesel or using gasoline, maybe if we reduce this sequence of using a tractor in production, you minimize the amount of times a tractor has to go into the field and start using diesel or using gasoline. Maybe if we reduce this sequence of using a tractor in production, we can help the environment in a very good way.
Yeah. With this new technology, we know that all technology is more expensive than the traditional forms. So, do you think we can use, or the people can use this technology in small farms?
You mean fertigation?
Yeah.
Yes, as I told you before, let's say the Venturi. The Venturi has a range of investment that goes from maybe $20 up to $20,000, and that depends on what you're producing. You have to make sure that the crop you're producing will pay for the technology you're purchasing. So, but there are a lot of fertigation systems that are very simple and cheap and precise. Maybe you have to operate them manually, but the technology exists. Simple or complex, it is there.
Okay, thanks for your time and your knowledge about fertigation systems.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Mr.